Uh-oh, Nussy Slip.
Economic promises. And despite his fear-mongering on those culture wars, he's been failing them. Left spectrum, but then winning to get these races is saying that the filibuster needs to be taken away, which I want in the Senate for Democrats to govern that way. But then listen to what he lets slip as to why he
Here is the Nussy Slip.
wants it to go away. While you watch, please do, if you appreciate the show, click the subscribe button. Today's the day to do it. Look at me. Podcast listeners, you missed the visual element of this, but I have a silly get-up on.
It gives the president, it takes away the right of the president to pick people to serve on the court and to serve as his attorneys, which is very important. But the biggest thing is the filibuster. We have to get the country going. We will pass legislation at levels you've never seen before, and it'll be impossible to beat us. By the way, if they do, and they're going to do it anyway, and they are going to immediately do the filibuster. And when they do the filibuster, they're going to pack the court. They want at least five justices. Now I hear it's up to 5. I actually heard up to 7 and up to 9. Okay, they want new judges. They want to pack the court, and they will do it in the first day, maybe a week. Maybe they'll slow it down.
Okay, then listen to this clip, and then I'll respond. This is dangerous stuff. Listen.
There's nobody else is going to object. They're going to do it the first day. They're going to pack the court. They're going to make D.C. a state, and they're going to make Puerto Rico a state. So now they pick up 2 states. They pick up 4 senators. Okay?
Yes, Puerto Rico and D.C. should be a state. If they gotta pay taxes, then I think that they should be a state, like the U.S. Virgin Islands. I think that they should move from territories, and I think that they should be able to get their statehood. I think the Marian Islands also is a territory, a U.S. territory. I think all of our U.S. Territories should get statehood if they have to pay taxes, because they don't have, and I think, don't quote me on it, but I'm thinking 2021 is when D.C. finally got a representative, because they never had a representative. And so that means when a law or something needs to be passed for D.C., they didn't have a representative to vote for it or vote against it. Now they do, but that's like Puerto Rico. I don't know if they have a representative, but I think that they should be able to get their statehood. I think Puerto Rico and D.C. should be able to get the statehood and move from a U.S. territory. I also think the U.S. Virgin Islands, which I do believe that they do have representatives for the U.S. Virgin Islands. So when he's like, oh, if they get voted in, they're going to make Puerto Rico and D.C. a state. Yes. If Maine can be a state, and I'm going to say this stupidly because I can't back it. but in my head it makes sense, but it might not. I might be totally wrong, and I'm willing to stand in my wrongness. If Maine can get statehood, which I do believe there is a island that you can only get to from a boat that's not connected to the mainland. I was literally saying that for the simple fact, if they're like, well, you can only get to D.C. over the Potomac Bridge. Okay, you can only get to Key West over a bridge. So, I'm not saying build a bridge to Puerto Rico. I'm not saying build a bridge. Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't get their statehood because they're not connected to the United States. Because there's a town, or Maine itself might not be connected to the United States, but only over a bridge or a boat. Puerto Rico needs its statehood. D.C. needs its statehood. My opinion. But here comes the Nussy slip.
You think you have problems? They're going to do all of the things. They're going to pick up electoral votes. It's going to be a very, very bad situation. And it's done. It's done. As soon as they attain power, now, we'll do what I'm saying, they'll most likely never attain power, because we are willing to pass every single thing that you can imagine that it's good, and all good for the country.
Did you hear that? The President of the United States is saying, if you get rid of the filibuster, which raises for most legislation the threshold to pass something out of the Senate to 60 votes instead of a simple majority, if Republicans can govern without Democratic say, then they will never, and then he corrects himself, most likely never attain power again. Same guy who illegally tried to...
Remember what he said? Guys, if you vote for me, you would never have to vote again. And everybody is like, oh my gosh, you libtards. Oh my gosh, you leftist wokeness. Or you woke leftists. Look, I hear what he says. I hear what he says. Vote for me and you never have to vote again. Huh? Well, why wouldn't I have to vote again, Donald? Because you're gonna stop voting? Like the voting right? I mean, he's trying to take mine away. Because I'm a woman. And I'm also black. So yeah, he's gunning for me, I feel personally. Yeah, not me as me, but me as a female and me as a minority. Right? Am I saying that word right? Anyways, someone, a POC. He is gunning for me as a POC, and he is gunning for me as a woman to try to take away my voting rights. That's how I feel. And my relationship that ain't got nothing to do with him. I can say that. Because he don't. Don't clock my miles, and I won't clock your wife's miles. Because I guarantee she probably got triple, if not quadruple miles. I'm just saying. Before, you know what? Let me not clock her miles, because I really don't care about her miles. I don't care about her uterus. I don't care about her miles. But don't clock my miles, and I won't clock your wife's miles and your daughters and your granddaughters. Because I don't really care. But don't clock my miles, and I won't clock yours. Anyhow, back to what I was saying. Why if they get back in power, then they won't be able to vote. I mean, almost never. Luke is going to run it back.
To stay in power when he lost the election. And Republicans don't think we should be concerned that he's saying, well, I'm saying because I'm so serious at this time. But this is serious. It's terrifying. Listen to this again. He's just saying it.
As soon as they take power now, we'll do what I'm saying. They'll most likely never take power because we are willing to pass every single thing that you can imagine that is good and all good for the country.
Uh-oh. Lucy, your nussy slipped. That old George Harris wanna be nussy is letting you know what? What's her name? Let me see what her date is. Because I don't want to call her by the wrong name. What is your name? Hold on. What is her name? Oh, Christina. Her. Like she was saying, I need. She said, I need compensation for what was it? What was it? She need compensation for I forgot, it was something stress or whatever, because he came out with his full nussy out and his asshole of a mouth, and I was like, I need it too. Look, let's go in together, because I need compensation too, because emotionally, is that what she said? I don't remember what she said, but like when she said it, I'm like, I need it too. Everything that you said, I'm also suffering with that exact same thing. So I need compensation, because you came out with your full nussy and that asshole of a mouth and was talking pure bullshit.